Shalom, Israel. It's ISUPK, Louisiana. Saturday Sabbath class. I'm Precinct Officer Thousand Kawan, joined with Precinct Officer 50 Yakwam. We're going to go ahead and get started. Take him out.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. Imagine, which means to stand. We're going to say the prayers. Upon Hakudam, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to say the prayers both in English and in Hebrew, starting off in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Hawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathilanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabiya Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahakapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. In the English.
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak, the power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babakashah. Lathandanawa. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Ka'amaka'ala. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Ha Matazarayim. Hakak. Lahakwayam. Hamatyam. Hakak. Al Rakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Tawada Aman.
In the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner. Of sickness and all manner. Of disease. The power to cleanse. The lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Maka Ya'ala. Wa ala Salaki. Wa alahayam Salaki. Wa alahayam. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kwatazayanyam. Ha Ha kayal yalam. Ha Salaki. Waha akwakiam. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahushua. The water Aman.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharyam. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Azariah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Asha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yatan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shemarka. Hana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Ya. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'a Yakalka. Wayarak. Balaya. Balaya. Salaki. Ba la ya Salaki. Ba la ya la Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal Rai. Yashamar. Atnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'aita. Ma'aita. Wa'aid Awalam.
In the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold.
He
that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in from this time forth.
And thy coming in from this time forth.
And forevermore.
And forevermore. Psalms 83. Alahayim. Al Damayak. Al Damayalak. Al Takarash. Wa al Tashakwat. Al Kahayana. Al Wa Yabyaka. Al Wa Yabyaka. Salaki. Wa Yabyaka. Yahama. Yawam. Ra'ash. Al Amaka. Ya'ira Yamwa. Sawada. Wayata. Ya'itazawa. Al Tazapawanka. Salakia. Al Tazapawanka. Abawa. Lakawa. Wanaka Kakyadam. Magawaya. Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada'a, Kaya, Nawa'ai Tazai Wa, Laba, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Barya, Yakarwa. Salaga, that's incorrect. Yakar Rothwa. Ahalya. Adawam. Wa Yashmai. Alayam. Mawa'aba. Agarium. Gabal. Wa'aim Wawam. Wa'aim Malak. Palasha. I'm Yashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. I'm Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Aisha La'a. Aisha Laham. Kamadian. Kasaya Sarah. Kayabian. Banakal. Kwayash. One. Kwashyan. Salaki, one more time. Kwayash one. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan Dara. Wakaza Abba. Wakaza Bak. Wakaza Tazal. Mana'ai. Call Nasa Yakak. Call Nasa Yakam Wa. Ashar. Amarwa. Nayarashwa. Lanawa. Na'awa. Alayaham. Alayaha. Shayatam. Shayatamwa. Kagalgala. Kakwash. Lapanya. Rawakar. Ka'ash. Taba'ira Ya'ira. Wakala Haba. Talahat. Harayam. Khan. Taradatma. Basa'iraka. Wabasa. Wapafka. Tabahalam. Ma'ala. Salaki. Mala'a. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Waya Bakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashawa. Waya Bahala Wa. Idya Waya Kaparwa. Waya Abadwa. Waya Da'aiwa. Kaya Ata. Shamka. Yahawa. Labadka. Al Yawam. Al Kal Ha'arataza.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee
Have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come and let us cut them off.
come and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
But they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites
Of Moab.
of Moab
And the Hagarene.
and the Hagarene,
Gebal.
Gebal
And Ammon.
and Ammon
And Amalek.
and Amalek
And the Philistines.
and the Philistines
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also was joined with them.
Assur also has joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Selah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles to take our Salah. Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb
And like Zeid.
and like Zaid.
Yea, all their princes Zebah.
Yea, all their princes as Zabah
And Zalmunna.
and Zamunna,
Who said,
who said,
let us stubble before Allah, Salah. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Make them like a wheel.
make them like a wheel,
As the stubble before the wind.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth a wood.
as the fire burneth the wood,
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
And make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name, O Lord.
that they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish,
That men may know that thou,
that men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. You may be seated. The water. The water to the priest, man, is his first Sabbath service, actually doing the Sabbath service with me. So Most High in Christ for him. Just give him a hand. The water to you, brother. All right, so we're gonna pick up where we left off last week. It was getting good, man. King David had actually left the Jerusalem, and they was on their way back because his son Absalom, who was trying to overthrow him, actually pursued after him with his men, with the men of Israel, and King David had his mighty men and his company with him, and end up Absalom was killed. King David told them not to harm Absalom, but Joab did not follow the order. He tried to persuade other men to do the work to kill Absalom, but King David did not want it to happen. So some of those men that was faithful to King David followed the order. But Joab had Absalom killed. He hung him from a tree, killed him. So we're going to pick up where we left off. Now King David was on his way back to Jerusalem. The men of Judah came to escort came to escort King David back to Jerusalem to his throne. We're going to pick up on 2 Samuel 21.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, verse 21. 2 Samuel, chapter 21, verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year, and David inquired of the Lord. And the Lord answered it was for Saul and for the bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites.
So this is King David. There was a famine in the land. once King David returned. And King David didn't understand, so he inquired to the Lord. He prayed to the Most High. He went and asked, he went and was praying and asking, and the Lord told him, it's for Saul. The reason that there's a famine in the land is because of Saul. When Saul was the king, he was his house was bloody. He did what the Most High told him not to do. And he shed blood that he wasn't supposed to, specifically the Gibeonites. Keep going.
Verse 2. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites.
So these wasn't the children of Israel that the Lord is punishing or has a famine on for due to Saul killing them, but the Lord never gave the order for them to be killed. So he's called the famine on the land. Salaki, sir. Oh, Salaki, unalive, the water out of one. He didn't call for them to be unalive, but Saul did his own biddings and not the Lord's at that time. Therefore, there's a famine in the land. So King David called the Gibeonites to him, and they were not the children of Israel. Gibeonites are not the children of Israel. Keep going.
Salaki, is that with reading as well?
Say again.
Should I change that?
Nah, you can read it as is,
Okay,
because it's quoted.
Come. But the remnant of the Amorites and the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah.
You heard that? The Israelites, the children of Israel swore an oath to the Gibeonites that they wouldn't unalive them. But because Saul was so crunk in his zeal, so to speak, he wanted to show the children of Israel and the children of Judah that he was a mighty king. Remember now, he was always in competition after David started killing more than him. So he wanted to show, oh, I can kill too. I can unalive too. Salaki. I have to get used to that word. I can unalive too. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewithal shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord?
He's asking, what can I do so you can bless the children of Israel? What can I do to make amends for what Saul did to your people? What can we do? Keep going.
And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul.
We don't want none of Saul money. We don't want the money ain't gonna change nothing. Keep going.
Nor of his house. Neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel.
We don't want to kill nobody, because the Gibeonites understood what? Can anybody tell me what the Gibeonites understood? Did you speak up?
That they were the Lord's people.
Damn right, because they were the Lord's people. The Gibeonites knew that we have the Most High, that we have the Most High God with us, and to kill any of us would bring a judgment on them. They see the judgment that our God is putting on us for breaking the oath with them. He put the famine on us because of what we did to them. So therefore, their response is, no, we're not killing no man of Israel. We're not doing that. Go ahead.
And he said, what ye shall say, that will I do for you.
He said, whatever you tell us, that's what we're going to do for you. Go ahead.
And they answered the king, the man that consumed us and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel. Let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul.
So now he's telling him, if you bring 7 of Saul's family members, y'all can hang them. Y'all can do away with them for what they've done, for what Saul did to our people. You can do it, but we ain't killing them. Go ahead, unalive. The water, Salaki. Good night. I'm about to get you Salaki. Go ahead.
Let me go part of that. And will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them.
Keep going.
But the king spared Mephibosheth and his son Jonathan, the son of Saul.
Read that one more time.
But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul.
You remember when David made the oath to Jonathan that they were like brothers. He made the oath to him that I don't remember or recall exactly the oath, but the oath had to do with that he was going to allow his seed to continue. That he wasn't going to wipe out his seed, Jonathan's seed, because of the brotherhood that Jonathan showed King David. Keep going.
Come on. But the king took the two sons of Rizpah and the daughter Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Amani and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Meholathite. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord. And they fell all 7 together and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, and in the beginnings of barley harvest.
All 7 of them died. They all was unalived for what Saul did to the Gibeonites when he ruled, just to show his force. That was the atonement that was made for the Gibeonites so that the famine can end in Israel. Because King David had to do what was best for the children of Israel, and they had to go. You know, y'all remember Michal? Wasn't that the one that was promised that was given to David? Wasn't that one of his ribs? And then Saul took her back. If I'm not mistaken, I have to check that again. But I believe Michal was the one that was actually given to King David when David was fighting for Saul.
Saul's daughter.
Right, his daughter. I believe that's the one. So David took 7 of Saul's descendants and had them hanged on the hill. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had been stolen from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them. And the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa.
So David went to get the bones of Jonathan and his father Saul. Now remember, Saul was pretty much the enemy of David. But David did never touch Saul because of what? Anybody remember why? Why did David never lay a hand on Saul? He said it. I'm going to give one of them a chance.
Come.
I know you know it. Come. Y'all remember? You remember? Anybody? Kadam? All right. You can go ahead, Yaquan. He asked first. Go ahead.
Because he said that he shouldn't touch the Lord's anointed.
That's right.
He knew the Lord chose him.
Absolutely. So King David did not harm Saul because he knew that Saul was the Lord's anointed. But he went to get his bones and his son Jonathan's bones from those who slayed them so that he can bury them with his father, a righteous way. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father. And they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, God was entreated for the land.
So after that was good enough for the Most High then. The Most High was okay with it at that point, so he can lift the famine at that point. Go ahead.
Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel. And David went down and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed faint.
So David is older at this time. He ain't young like he used to, jumping over walls and killing 10,000 men. He went and fought with the Philistines this time, but he was a little tired afterwards. He was worn out after this one. This one where he came back and he pepped up and ready to see about them women in Israel chanting and cheering him on. At this point, he pretty tired. David's an older man, so he's tired after he fought with the Philistines this time. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And Ishbi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with the new sword, thought to have slain David. So
these are, when they're talking about giants, they're not talking about 50 feet men and they're talking about, you see how Shaq is 7'10" or something like that. Yamin and what's his new boy now? Weber. Yeah, at San Antonio. That's the giant. That's what they're referring to as giant. These are men. Well, Weber, he a little thin. That boy, look. That boy thin. He probably, but he's still a giant as far as his height. That's the giant that it's talking about. It's not talking about, you know, how you see the trolls in movies where they be super tall, and he's not talking about that. He's just talking about very large men, very tall and large men. This man, his spear weighed 300 shekels of brass. That's a heavy spear. That's a pretty big spear. Brass is a heavyweight metal anyway. So his spear was extremely heavy, 300 shekels. And go ahead, and they thought that he had done killed King David.
Verse 17. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored him and smote the Philistine and killed him.
He sought after him, and when he got that Philistine, he killed him. Go ahead.
Then the men of David sware unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel.
He said that we don't want King David to have to go out no more. He shouldn't have to go out, because if he die, the light of Israel gonna die. Come. Like we fighting for you, King. So you go out. You don't have to go out to battle with us no more. You can stay here. We'll go unalive all of them, and you just remain the light of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And it came to pass after this that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gath.
They fought them again. The Philistines don't like Israel, if y'all ain't noticed. They ain't never like Israel. They just been on their thing. Like they have a alt with Israel, some awful, and they continuously want to fight. Now remember, Goliath was a Philistine, wasn't he? He was a Philistine. This battle's been going on for a long time. Keep going.
Verse 19. And there was again, verse 20. Verse 19.
Yeah.
And there was again a battle in Gath with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jeroboam, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite. Gittite. The staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant.
So this is another giant. He got 6 fingers on each hand, 6 toes on each feet, and he is a giant. So he is a mutant. He is absolutely a mutant. He was born all wrong. But they slew him. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimea, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants.
Damn right. King David was still a mighty man. He still had mighty men on his team. Completely. We're going to get into it, and they're going to actually talk about the mighty man that he had. King David had men that was, you see how we got brothers here? Like that ISUPK has brothers. King David had brothers like that was ready to kill, ready to unalive and die for him. We can say die, right? Can I say that, everyone? Unalive and be unalived for him.
Right.
King David had men that was loyal and down for what it was to be an Israelite. And that's what we have here in the ISUPK, man. Most High in Christ for that, under command of General Yohanan. All right. Chapter 22, Bible Shop.
Come on. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 1. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of his enemies.
Out of what? Out of the what?
Out of the hand of his enemies.
Out of the hand of all his enemies.
Salakia, all his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the hand of Saul.
So this is what we're about to read in 22. This is what King David sang unto the Lord. This is a song that he wrote unto the Most High, talking to the Most High God for allowing him to unalive all of his enemies, to escape all of them, and even Saul as well. Go ahead.
And he said, the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the God of my rock. In him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies.
Be what?
Saved from mine enemies.
Be what?
Saved from mine enemies.
David knew that the Most High God was the reason he was slaying 10,000 men. David understood that. He understood that it was the power of the Most High God, that the Lord that he served, the Almighty, the Most High, there was a reason that he was killing all those, well, he was unaliving all of his enemies. David understood that, and he is praying that to the Most High, telling him he is worthy to be praised for helping him to unalive all of his enemies. Keep going.
Salaki, if I could.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, verse 3, what we just read,
That
hit hard when it says, thou savest me from violence. You see how our brothers die in the streets of America constantly? But it's the Lord that saved us from that.
Absolutely.
Unalive. We unalived in the streets of America.
And that's heavy that you bring that out. That's absolutely right. That's why you don't see that in the ISUPK. You don't see brothers that are members of the ISUPK that are serving the Lord. You don't see us being unalived in the streets. We drive the same streets as George Floyd and other brothers and Eric Garner and Trayvon Martin. We drive and walk in these same streets. But why is it that we're not unalive? Because the Lord is with us. There's a difference. We don't get beat up by church women with high heels and Christian pastors pulling pistols on us. We don't get that. And we out in the streets telling people what thus saith the Lord. We telling them to change their lives. We telling them that being a whore is not of the Most High. Being a drug dealer is not the right thing to do. Hating your brother in your heart is not the right thing to do. But we don't get guns pulled on us. But we tell them if they go to threatening and they want to pull a gun, shoot me. Make sure you shoot straight. That's what Captain Mashak say. Shoot straight, brother. Make sure you shoot straight, nigga. Because we willing to be unalive for our brothers in here and to unalive those that threaten the lives of our brothers in here and sisters and children alike. Keep going.
Verse 5, when the waves of death compasseth me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compass me about.
Wait a minute. Now this right here, this is a hell precept that y'all should put in your precept book. This precept right here, he said, read that verse above that and then that one again, Baba Kashab.
Verse 5, when the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
So David was afraid. There was times when he was literally afraid. But go ahead.
The sorrows of hell compassed me about.
The what?
The sorrows of hell.
The sorrows of hell. So David never died, did he? He never died. So why is he referring to sorrows of hell? Because in this world, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, so-called the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the biblical Israelites, we have gone through hell on this planet for disobeying the Most High God.
Right.
When we break the law, statutes, and commandments, we go through so much hell. That's why the Bible teaches us and shows us that hell is a place right here on earth. Hell is the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations that a lot of our people live in. Hell is right here on earth, just like heaven will be right here on earth. The sorrows of hell compass me. That's what they say. Go ahead.
The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. And he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter his ears.
So what makes the Lord hear your cries or hear your prayers? What makes the Lord hear you? Anybody know? Raise your hand. Go ahead.
Following his commandments, doing prayers, and doing strong.
Following the commandments and obeying. That's exactly right. Proverbs 28:9 say, he that turneth his ear from hearing the law of the Lord, even his prayers are abomination. So David had to follow the laws for the Lord to hear him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. Verse 9. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils and fire out of his mouth, devoured. Coals were kindled by it.
Now, I want y'all to understand, this again is a song. The Most High God didn't have fire and smoke coming out of his nose for real. He's saying that the Lord had got hot. You know how niggas speak? How black people speak? Oh, I got fire hot. Boy, that boy was fuming. That boy was so hot, he had smoke coming out the top of his head. This is how he's speaking. Go ahead.
Verse 10. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters and thick clouds of skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice, and he sent arrows and scattered them.
Read that again, 15.
And he sent arrows and
he sent out arrows.
Salakia. He sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning, and then comforted them. And the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world were discovered. At the rebukings of the Lord, at the blasts of the breath of his nostrils.
He's just saying that the Lord brought down vengeance upon all his enemies. He brought vengeance on everybody that he put in front of King David that opposed him. He brought pure destruction to them. The Lord came with it, is what he's saying. Go ahead.
Verse 17. He sent from above. He took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me.
He's saying that I couldn't have did it by myself. Remember, David killed 10,000 when Saul killed 1,000. To kill 10,000 men in one battle, bro, you gotta have the Lord with you. You have to have the Most High God with you to be able to do that. King David was acknowledging that in his song and in his prayer to the Most High. Lord, and y'all have to remember, y'all have to do that. You have to give the Lord his just glory. You have to give it to him. Man, you overcoming something in your life, know that it was not you. You're not strong enough to do it yourself. The Lord is the only way that we overcome. That's how we overcome the stuff that we overcome. That's how we defeat in the battles that we defeat in. Come on, sir.
So, like, if I could, man, that goes into just look at how far we've come from being an enslaved people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, some of us live in better houses and drive better cars than our oppressors.
Right.
You understand? It has to be the Lord.
That's right.
Because why would you get rid of free labor?
Mm.
Why would you get rid of, why would you go out and work when you don't have to? You can just make somebody else do it.
Absolutely.
You understand? But the Lord is with us, so we're gonna continue to progress. And that's when we was in our ignorance.
Right.
You understand? Imagine how much more the Lord would do if you obey him and you follow him. Yeah, like King David obeyed and followed the Lord.
That's right. Damn right. Give him a hand. We want to be men after the heart of the Most High, after the Most High's own heart. We want to be, you should strive to want to be like King David. David is giving the Most High God his glory because he is the only one that deserves glory. He is our power. When we say that the Most High God is our power, David is exhibiting that in his song to the Most High right here. He is actually saying, Lord, I couldn't have killed none of my enemies, especially those that were stronger than me, without you. I wouldn't have been able to do it. Go ahead.
Verse 19. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay.
The Lord was my stay. Go ahead.
He brought me forth also into the large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me.
Ain't that a beautiful thing to have the Lord to delight in you? Man, if the Lord delight in you, the Bible say, if God be for me, who can be against me? Right. He said the Lord delighted in me, man. He kept me in my state. So anything that I went up against or any battle I got into, the Most High God was right there with me. He was the reason I got out of it. He was the reason I escaped. He was the reason that I made it through it. Go ahead.
The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness.
According to his what?
My righteousness.
According to his what?
My righteousness.
David said that the Lord rewarded him according to his righteousness. The Most High God rewards us according to our obedience and our righteousness. It shall be your righteousness. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Do y'all know the verse, or should we go to it?
To do all these things.
Let's go to it, Yaquan.
Come.
Damn right. Let's get to it. It shall be our righteousness. This is our righteousness. This is the righteousness that David exhibited. Let me see. Is it 4 and 6? Hold on 1 second. It shall be our righteousness. Is it Deuteronomy 4? Let me get my right there. 1 second. David said, because of his righteousness, the Lord rewarded him. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Let me get it out my phone here. Got it in my notes. Let's see what the scripture is for what righteousness is that David talking about. Let's see. Righteousness. Okay. Go to Deuteronomy 4, 5 through 8. Yeah, that's it. 4 and 5 through. Oh, Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Yeah, go 6 and 25. Salaki.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6.
No sweat.
Verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness.
It shall be what?
Our righteousness.
So this shall be our righteousness. Go ahead.
If we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us.
That's the righteousness that David is talking about. Deuteronomy 6 and 25. It shall be our righteousness if we observe, not just observe, to do all these commandments before the Most High God. David did the Lord's righteousness. He did the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. He not only observed them, but he did them. He followed them. Therefore, he was rewarded for his righteousness. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 22. For I have kept the ways of the Lord.
He did what?
I have kept the ways of the Lord.
He telling you right there that righteous, why he was considered righteous. Go ahead.
And have not wickedly departed from my God.
Mm.
For all his judgments were before me. And as for his statutes, I did not depart from them.
That's why he was considered righteous. Keep going.
I was also upright before him and have kept myself from mine iniquity.
From what?
Mine iniquity.
Why do y'all think he specified mine iniquity? From his iniquity. He kept himself from doing his own lust. Now, this is pre-Bathsheba now. He slipped. He's still a man. But this is pre-Bathsheba he's talking about. Go ahead.
Come. Oh, kept myself.
25.
25. Therefore, the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanliness in his eyesight.
Mm.
With the merciful, thou wilt show thyself merciful. And with the upright man, thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure, thou wilt show thyself pure. And with the froward, thou wilt show thyself unsavory.
Mm-hmm.
And the afflicted people, thou wilt save.
The what?
And the afflicted people, thou wilt save.
So y'all ask a lot, and I know this Sabbath class, but y'all ask a lot. Who is it that need to be saved? Who need to be saved, Yaquan?
And the afflicted people, thou wilt save.
So is everybody on the earth afflicted?
Oh.
No, there's a specific group of people that are afflicted above everybody else. And that's the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the true biblical Israelites. Those are the people that will be saved. Go ahead.
But thine eyes are upon the haughty, that thou mayest bring them down.
Oh, wait. So the haughty is going to be brought down. Who is haughty? Donald Trump then, Hollywood, Amalek. Well, the Jewish men, that's it. Their biblical name is Amalek. The Jewish men, those are the haughty men that shall be brought down. Christian pastors, those are the messengers. General Muhammad went over that in class on Thursday night. Those Christian pastors are those messengers in Revelation. Those angels of the dragon, of the devil, of that old serpent. Those are the Christian pastors that can get to the black man and black woman and black children and tell them that Jesus Christ is a white man, that you need to follow and obey your master, that you need to go vote because it'll change our situations. But pay your tithes, but the law is done away with. You see how contradicting he is? Those are the messengers of the dragon, of the devil, the angels. Go ahead.
Verse 29, for thou art my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord will lighten my darkness. Verse 30, for by thee I have run through a troop. By my God have I leaped over a wall.
David said he leaped over walls. Over walls. I know y'all like, well, niggas jump fences all the time. Nigga hit the fence and jump over the fence all the time. But no, David was leaping over walls. He said he leaped over the wall. He ain't talking about he hit him and hopped over him. No, he leaped over walls. This brother has some supernatural powers. Killing 10,000 men. I don't know a man on the earth that can kill 10,000 men in one battle. Good night. But because the Lord was with him, anything is possible. Everything is possible. Go ahead.
Verse 31. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all of them that trust in him. For who is God, save the Lord? And who is a rock, save our God? God is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken in my arm.
Ain't that a Hebrew Academy precept? He teaches my hands to war. Man, look, David was a man of war because the Lord is a man of war. Right? To be able to serve the Lord, you cannot be a coward, brothers and sisters. You can't be a sister and be a coward and serve the Lord. You got to have you have to, your hands have to war. Sisters, they have to war too. In their kitchen on them pots, they got a war with them children. They got a war to be able to submit and accept what the men above them tell them. Brothers, you got to be able to war every day. As a Black, Hispanic, or a Native American man, you warring every day of your life out here in the streets of America and every other country in this world. Sometimes in your own home. Absolutely, Adawan. Hell of a point. Sometimes in your own home, you have to war. Good night. And I tell you, it's a battle every day. David said that the Lord taught his hands to war. Go ahead. You had something you want to say? Go ahead.
Verse 36. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness has made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies and destroyed them, and turned not again until I had consumed them.
He said, I ain't turned away until I was done. When I went after them, my enemies, I went to get them, and I was going to get them until I was done. I didn't turn away from it. I went to get them, and I finished the job. Come. Oh, right. Not going to sleep until you unalive. If you know, you know. Go ahead.
And I have consumed them and wounded them, that they could not arise.
They weren't going to get up when I was done.
Yea, they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength to battle. Them that rose up against me hast thou subdued under me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They looked, but there was none to save.
None. When nobody to save them.
Damn right.
You hear that? He said they looked, but there was none to save. Look, if you fall into the hands of the Most High God, can't nobody save you. David is making it plain as day that you didn't just fall into his hands. You fell into the hands of the Most High God. The Lord made his hands to war because we are his instruments. The Lord, can the clay say unto the potter, why am I thus? We are what the Lord make us. And David knew that he was a soldier for the Most High. He was a tool of straight cleansing for the Lord.
If I could, what's so heavy about it, and the way that King David is speaking, I can feel it because I think about the work that brothers put in before me, like Commander General Hunter, all the way up to Abu Bivens and Ariyah.
Right.
These brothers are going to be remembered forever for the work that they did.
That's right.
You understand? And we reading about King David right now. There's thousands of years in past, and it's still relevant to this day.
Damn right.
So he understands that the Lord has given him something that's going to be remembered for the ages.
That's
you
right.
Understand? The work that you brothers are doing, the work that you sisters are doing, this is going to be remembered. Sisters are going to look back and say, those were some strong sisters to be able to be with that man, and he had another one. Those were some strong brothers to be able to deal with what they're dealing with in their everyday life and still come in and be on time to make sure that they teach the nation, thus says the Lord. Those are some strong brothers to be able to make it through Hebrew Academy and you know what I'm saying, build and do it. When y'all go to the Passover, y'all don't realize how much work them brothers and sisters just put in so that you can celebrate the Lord's Passover.
Man.
You understand? Like the things that we doing right now is going to be remembered and it's going to be honored for centuries, you understand, to come.
Right.
Don't take it lightly what you're doing in this truth. Be a brother or sister.
Damn right, Adawan. And these will be the stories that we'll be able to tell our children.
Damn right.
What, and they'll tell their children and their children after them. That is how a legacy or an inheritance continues on. Look, King David, in how he is speaking here, I understand how Solomon was so poetic. This is poetic how he's speaking about the Lord.
Right.
This is absolutely poetic, and it's amazing. Go ahead.
Verse 42 again. They looked, but there was none to say, even unto the Lord. But he answered them not.
He did what?
He answered them not.
Ooh-wee. They even cried to our Lord. Ain't that something? Boy, hey, when a man get to the point where he about to be unalive, he'll cry for anybody to help him. If he is in fear for his life, he looking for somebody to save him. Even if it's that which is unalive in him, even if it's their God. Go ahead.
Then did I beat them as Salakia. Verse 43. Then did I beat them as small as the dust of the earth.
Good night.
I did stamp them as the mire of the street, and did spread them abroad.
Salakia, if I could. I just heard something so black in that scripture.
Good night.
He said he beat them, he stumped them to what?
To the dust of the earth.
When brothers and sisters fight today, if you slaughter something real quick, man, I dusted his ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way we speak, you know what I'm saying, is so potent. You can tell that this is a black person's book.
That's right.
Wrote this book, man.
That's right. Damn right, other one. Go ahead.
I did stamp them as the mire of the street. That's heavy too.
Yeah, boy.
And did spread them abroad.
He beat the brakes on board.
Stomp the ish.
Turn his ass every which way but loose. Good night, man.
Oh man, go ahead.
Verse 44. Thou also hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen. A people which I knew not shall serve, of Salakia. A people which I knew not shall serve me. Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me.
Do y'all hear that? What King David is saying? That's come from serving the Lord. That brother say, man, heathens will be under me. What from what he said, can anybody tell me what that sounds like to y'all?
Who kisses?
And that too, but I want y'all to think of the end game. What does this sound like? Well, read that one more time.
All right, come. Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me.
Go ahead, keep going.
Strangers shall fade away, and they shall be afraid out of their close places.
So what does this sound like? I think you started down a little bit. Go back up to 44. Read 44, yeah.
Come. That verse 44. Thou also hast delivered me from the strivings of my people.
Go ahead.
Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen.
Right there, go ahead.
A people which I knew not shall serve me.
They shall serve him. Go ahead.
Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me.
What that sound like, y'all?
The kingdom?
Raise your hand.
I was like,
Go ahead. The kingdom of heaven.
Come.
The heathens shall be under me. They shall submit themselves unto me. What? King David was absolutely, he was in his kingdom. He was the king of the world, pretty much. King David ruled the world.
Come.
He was the king. All heathens respected him, what he said. Philistines, they like to try him, but they got that work. You heard what he said. He beat them in the dust and spread them abroad as the mire of the street.
Right.
He beat them boys down every time. They had a little girth to keep coming back. But boy, they got their work. And that sounds like the kingdom of heaven, man. That's rulership. That's what the men of the ISUPK is fighting for right now. That's what we fight for every single day. That we in and out teaching and telling our people what thus saith the Lord. 1 second. All right. TikTok was trying to end my live. They said I was good though.
Verse 46. Strangers shall fade away, and they shall be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of the rock of my salvation. It is God that avengeth me, and that bringeth down the people under me, and that bringeth me forth from mine enemies. Thou also hast lifted me up on high above them that rose up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and I will sing praise unto thy name. He is the tower of salvation for his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, unto David, and to his seed forevermore.
Forevermore. King David, man, that's why he's the psalmist. That's why he's considered the psalmist. Because that right there, he just gave the Lord glory for everything that he has done, everything that he has been through, everything he brought him through. He gave the glory to the Most High God, who actually deserves it, because he is the reason that King David was actually king over the earth. He was the reason that King David was a mighty warrior. He was the reason that the mighty men that followed King David was mighty men. He was the reason that that the kingdom of Israel was in proper rulership at that time. The Lord was the reason. Go ahead, chapter 23.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23, verse 1. Now these be the last words of David.
So this is what King David, these are the last words that King David was speaking. He was actually on his deathbed at this time, or in his last stages of when he was about to pass. Go ahead.
David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said, the Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over me must be just, ruling in the fear of God.
Yeah, right.
And he shall be as the light of the morning when the sun rises, even a morning without clouds, as the tender grass springeth out of the earth by clear shining after rain.
He's saying that boy got to be a light. He's saying he got to be a light. He's saying how the sky is clear without clouds. You can't have, if something is cloudy, I mean, it's messy. You can't really see. You got to be transparent. You got to be able to see. He's saying that he got to be a light. You can't be a messy king, whoever's going to rule. Go ahead.
Although my house be not so with God.
He's saying, I know my house ain't right with God right now because my sons, most of them dying. They've done wrong. It's a lot of things going on. I know it ain't right with him right now. Go ahead.
Yet he hath made with me an everlasting covenant.
But the Lord made a covenant with me. Even though my house ain't right now, the Lord made a covenant with me that I'd be king forever. That the throne of King David would be everlasting. Keep going.
Ordered in all things and sure, for this is all my salvation and all my desire, although he make it not to grow. But the sons of Belial shall be all of them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands.
Go ahead.
But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron and with staff of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in the same place.
Go ahead.
These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adonno, the Esnite. He lifted up his spear against 800, whom he slew at one time.
He slew at what?
At one time.
His brother slew 800 men at one time with a spear, not a sword, not a gun, not a nuclear missile, not a tank, not an aircraft. With a spear, he killed 800 men. You tell me that these ain't mighty men that David had with him, right? You tell me that these ain't righteous men to be able to do that, you have to have the Lord with you. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahoite, one of 3 mighty men with David, when they defiled the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary.
He said to what?
His hand was weary.
The boy was fighting till his hand got weak. One of the brothers, I don't know, yo, this is it. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
And his hand clave unto the sword.
The brother fought so hard that after he was done fighting, his hand was so tired that his hand was stuck to the sword, like it had engraved into the sword. Well, that's some serious war. To fight like that, and he was fighting so long and so hard that his hand was stuck to the sword, indented, engraved into it. Go ahead.
And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil.
So hold on. So who did it that day, Yaquan?
The Lord.
The Lord did it that day. The Lord did it that. That's why his sword clave to his hand, because he had the Lord with him. Go ahead.
And after him was Shema, the son of Agi, the Hararite, and the Philistines were gathered together in a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it.
Well, he had an army with him.
He stood in the midst of the ground and defended it.
He did by himself. He defended it. Go ahead.
And slew the Philistines. And the Lord wrought a great victory.
Who?
The Lord wrought a great victory.
Go ahead.
And 3 of the 30 chief, Salakia, and 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in a hole, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, when Salakia, which is by the gate. And the 3 men break through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore, he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men.
So he's saying that King David wanted water from a well, and these 3 brothers went down to the well to get it, and they had to fight for it. They had to go take the water, because King David was thirsty. They went to get him a drink out of this specific well, and they had to fight to get it. And when they brought it back, King David said, Lord, I won't even drink it, because these men put their life on the line to get that for me. That in itself was enough. That's heavy. Go ahead.
And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among 3, and he lifted up the spear against 300 and slew them, and had the name among 3. Salakia.
300 with a spear.
And slew them.
These boys bad with these weapons. You hear me? With spears. Man.
Verse 19. Was he not most honorable of 3? Therefore, he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first 3. And Benaiah, the son of Jehodiah, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, Salakia, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. 2
lion-like. What does that describe? That's describing their warlike abilities. These men were like lions. You know, lions are the king predators of the jungle. He slew 2 of them. These were Moab, Chinese men in today's day. They were Moabites that were lion-like men. They fought like lions. These boys was bad. He's expressing that these two that he fought, that he slew, they were pretty rough for him to fight. Go ahead.
He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow.
Then he went and killed a real lion. This boy just he just was after killing lion likeness. He was a straight slayer. He went to get him. Go ahead.
And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man, and the Egyptian had a spear in his hand. But he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. Now,
when it say a goodly man, I'm gonna have to get clarification. If I believe what I believe that it's saying, I don't know if it's 100% certain, but I'm thinking that King David was saying that he was good at warring. He was a real warrior. But I'll get clarification on the goodly man part, because when I first read it, I was asking that question in my mind as well. What do you mean goodly man? But he had to be good at what he was capable of doing. Go ahead.
These things did Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among 3 mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first 3. And David set him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shema, the Harodite, Elika, the Harodite, Helez, the Paltite, Ara, the son of Ikesh, the Tekoite, Abazir, the Anathithite, Mebuniah, the Hushathite, Zalman, the Ahayite, Mahari, the Netsalaki, Nahari, the Netophathite, Heleb, the son of Baanah, and Netophathite, Attai, the son of Rabbi, out of Gibeah, the son of the children of Benjamin, Benaiah, the Parahathite, Hadai of the brooks of Gaash, Abiaban, the Arabathite, Azamaveth, the Barhumite, Elabah, the Sha'albanite.
Now remember, these are the names that they're giving them are from the regions or the places where they live.
Of the sons of Jashin, Jonathan, Shema, the Hararithite, Ahiam, the son of Shara'ah, Shararah, the Harathite, Alepheth, the son of Ahashai, the son of Ma'achthite, Eliam, the son of Ahithophel, the Gilonite, Harazai, the Carmelite, Pa'arai, the Arabite, Igal, the son of Nathan of Zabah, Benai, the Gadite, Zelek, Ammonite, Salakia, Zelek, the Ammonite, Zaharai, the Beerothite, Aramaberi, the
armor bearer.
Salakia. The armor bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, Arah, the Etherite, Gereb, the Ithrite, and Ithrite. Verse 39, Uriah, the Hittite, 30 and 7 in all.
Those were the 37 mighty men that rode with King David. Keep going.
Salakia, chapter 24, 2 Samuel, chapter 24, verse 1. And again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David again against them to say, go, number Israel and Judah. Verse 2, for the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Bathsheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. And Joab said unto the king, now the Lord thy God add unto the people, how many soever they be, 100-fold, and they, and Salakia, and that the eyes of the Lord thy king may see it. But why doth my lord the king delight in this thing? Notwithstanding the king's word prevailed against Joab, against the captains of the host. And Joab the king, Joab, Salakia, and Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. And they passed over Jordan and pitched in Ararat on the right side of the city that lieth in the midst of the river of Gad and toward Jazar. Then they came to Gilead and to the land of Tatim Hodaish, Salakia, Tatim Hodshi, and they came to Danjan and about to Zidon, Salakia, and came to the stronghold of Tyre and to all the cities of the Hivites, and to the Canaanites. And they went out to the south of Judah, even to Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 months and 20 days. And Joab gave up the sum of the number of the people unto the king. And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword. And the men of Judah were 500,000 men.
They had 1,300, well, that's 1,300,000 men, ain't it? 1,300,000 Israelites. Israel and Judah together. Valiant men with the sword. Meaning they were good with the sword. That's a lot of weed. Go ahead.
And Salakia, would that be the warriors? Huh?
That's just
that
the
ain't
warriors.
Everybody.
That ain't right. That's just the warriors. 1,300,000 men, valiant men with that are good with the sword. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And David's heart smote him after that he numbered the people. And David said unto the Lord, I have sinned greatly in that I have done.
Yeah, because I don't think he was ever supposed to number the children of Israel again. I think there was a time when the Lord told him to never number them again. I don't know why King David did it in his old age, but that's why he is saying that he was wrought and felt bad for doing it. He sinned against the Lord. Go ahead.
And now I beseech thee, O Lord, take away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. And when David was up in the morning, the word of the Lord came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say unto David, Thus said the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David and told him and said unto him, Shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in thy land?
So you're giving him 3 choices. You got 3 choices that David can choose from that the Lord is going to punish him for disobeying him and counting the men of Israel. Famine for 7 years. Go ahead.
Or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies while they pursue thee?
Or you going to run from your enemies for 3 months? Good night. Go ahead.
Or that there be 3 days pestilence in the land.
Or there's going to be 3 days of pestilence, disease is going to be in the land for 3 days. You don't know how many people that are killed in 3 days. Mm-hmm. So he got 3 choices, and all 3 of them, they some heavy ones. 7 years of famine, that one there by far, that's bad. 7 years of famine, or you're going to run for 3 months. 3 whole months, 90 days, you're going to run from your enemies, meaning that I'm not going to be with you to help you to overthrow any of them. And they coming, believe it, they coming. 3 months. Or I give you 3 days where I have a disease run through everybody, or run through the city or through the nation. That's a hard choice. What, let me get some of y'all answers. What would y'all choose? Just to see, anybody. What would y'all choose? 7 years of famine, 3 days of disease or 3 months of running from your enemy. Good night. That's rough. What you think, Kurt?
That's a whole one.
Yeah, boy.
3 days of disease.
3 days of disease. Why you choose 3 days of disease? I'm just asking.
Because the disease, it don't say it's gonna kill you.
That's
You
true.
live through it after 3 days.
It's probably gonna kill
Move
you,
forward.
given the nature of the other two.
Right. Right.
That ain't what it said.
But look, when the Lord sends pestilence in Egypt,
It ain't,
boy, it wasn't pretty.
it ain't
It wasn't
sweet.
pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty at all. Oh, man. Think about Job. That brother had boils all over his body. And he was righteous. This is the Lord we talking about. This is a great and terrible power. What you think, Kurt?
I would say run.
You gonna run for 3 months? I don't know. That's what he say though, but I couldn't run for 3 months.
I don't know.
Had to look over myself, but that probably the easiest one.
I don't know. That's 7
Yeah.
years pestilence. That's 7 years famine
Hey,
for the whole nation.
yeah,
That's a rough one, there, brother.
man.
It's famine, no food.
Yeah, famine is mean it's gonna be scarce.
Yeah.
It's not no food.
It doesn't
It's
famine.
scarce.
In some cases.
Yeah, famine is in some cases where there is no food at all.
I'm gonna go with disease for 5
You gonna? She say she gonna take the pestilence.
72 hours, huh?
What you think, Katham? Which one you'll take? The 7 years famine, the 3 months of running from your enemies, or 3 days of disease?
For one person.
What
or-
three? What out of those 3 choices? Which one would you
He's
choose?
saying for a person or for a nation.
I'm getting everybody in the chat. Tashara, Sister Nazamana, or Sister Tashara, Sister Nazamana, and Sister Shapara. All 3 of them said 3 days. I'm gonna let him answer. I'm just saying. All 3 of them said they'll take the 3 days of pestilence. What you'll take? Yeah, it's rough. I respect that answer.
For everybody that's saying 3 days of pestilence, right? How many days can you live without food and water?
3 days.
Because sometimes you're so sick, you can't eat,
Mhm.
you can't drink nothing.
You got IVs for that.
Hey, I did. I did. Wasn't no IV for
We're
that.
talking about now.
We talking about then. What would you have taken?
Several to IV.
What would you have taken at that point? Man, 3 days of pestilence. But hey,
Okay, so what y'all taking?
Sister Itara say 3 months of running.
Okay.
I can't run. I'm not gonna run. I'm sorry. I have been taught to fight, and I have to fight until it's over. I cannot run. And for David. Now I want y'all to think about it like this. We're talking about King David here, who is a warrior. The Lord taught him to war for a reason. King David is a man of war, literally. So for him to have to run from the same enemies that he's just praised the Lord for destroying, allowing him to destroy, that's rough. All his life he's been destroying these people. All his life he's been unaliving any enemy that opposed him. And now he's supposed to accept running for 3 months. For me. I'm like Katham. I'm not gonna answer that one. I can't give an answer on that one. I don't know. I'm not gonna run. I don't want to run. I damn sure don't want 7 years of famine on my people. That's rough. You know how bad it's gonna be on the king that have to rule for those 7 years for them people that's hungry. And then 3 days of pestilence. What if the Lord strict me with the disease?
What if your arm fall on?
Oh man, we don't even know what type of disease he's talking about. Pestilence to the Lord. Look, let me tell y'all something. God, the Most High God sent COVID-19 in the world. Well, yeah, the Most High God sent COVID-19 into the world, and it's still getting people sick right now. It unalives so many people, and it's still doing it right now. And y'all think 3 days?
I mean, I got COVID too.
Yeah, I understand. But Okay.
And the Lord was with.
Okay, let me put it like I'm gonna make it real plain and simple. You want monkeypox for 3 days, or you want one of the other two? No, I ain't talking about COVID. I ain't talking about another disease.
I ain't getting monkeypox.
I'm not talking about you specifically, but I'm saying you chose. Hey, damn right. Damn right. Osai Christ. The sister says she's not LGBTQ, so she's not getting monkeypox. But I'm giving the example of, would you rather have 3 days of monkeypox, run from your enemy for 3 months, or 7 years of famine? It's tough how we figure how what we're gonna see that he chose.
This off topic, but
David chose.
Had to. He ain't had no choice.
An 8th grade daughter of a seizure in my school and canceled a pep rally.
What?
Oh
This
wow.
off topic.
Well, we gotta stay on top. Let's stay on top.
So like one of
Go ahead, y'all. I never asked you either.
what about them serpents though that he sent in the midst of the camp before? You want to be surrounded by serpents?
Man,
That's a rough one too, but you know,
yeah.
yeah.
Sister Nazir Manah say power of prayer for Israel to heal all manner of sickness and disease during those 3 days.
I know that's right.
Hakah. I'm with you, sis. Hakah. Straight up. But that's it's rough. Let's see what King David chose, because the Lord, he had to choose one.
Yeah.
He didn't get a chance to opt out. He had to figure out which one. And as a king, or as anyone, that is a heavy choice, a heavy burden to bear.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man.
David said that once before too,
Yeah.
that I'd rather fall into the hands of the Lord than into the hands of men.
Right.
Because men, let me put it like this here. Falling into the hand of our oppressor is worse than taking a punishment from the Most High God.
Right.
Right.
Our oppressor has no mercy for you. He has a perpetual hatred for you. So I'd rather any day fall into the hands of the Most High and accept the judgment that he brings. Go ahead.
Rather than chattel slavery. Huh?
That's right. Verse 15.
So the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men.
How many people died?
70,000 men.
3 days. 70,000 men.
Oh, he picked disease?
70,000.
That's what he picked.
So Salaki, I got a question.
That's
So,
what I picked.
so
That big, hold on 1 second. That's why, because he said that he'd rather fall into the hand of the Lord and not man. He was saying, I ain't gonna run from these men, because they're not gonna have no mercy on Israel.
Right.
They will. You know how many people the oppressor can kill in 3 months?
Abuse is part of war as well.
Come,
The abuse that men do to women and children.
Come.
Part of war as well.
Oh.
you know the type of atrocities that they would have to go through for 3 months in the hand of a Philistine, of an Edomite, of Amalek, of Amorites. You understand that? He said, man, that's why he said, just put me in the hand of the Lord. Now I'll take that. I'll take them 3 days. But man, 70,000 men. That's just men. 70,000. Yeah. Nigga, that's worse than Ebola, COVID-19, and AIDS together, ain't it? Damn near.
There had to be some much believing going on.
In 3 days. 3 days. Just because David sinned. Man, that's rough. You had something. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So the 7 years famine wasn't even in. That wasn't even a factor. We're not even gonna do that. So that's what I'm guessing, because he didn't even mention that
At all.
Like, nah, we're not gonna do that one.
That's too harsh on the people for his sin.
Yeah.
3 days, 70,000. That's still rough, boy. That's
real.
good.
Better than chattel slavery.
More than that would have died in 7 years of famine.
Come. And more than that would have died in 3 months of running from your enemy too. But he couldn't take what he was going to do, gather all Israel out of all them those lands and move them somewhere, keep moving for 3 months. Man, look here. Ooh-wee. Go ahead, Art.
Verse 15. So the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed, and there died of the people from Dan to Beersheba 70,000 men. And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing place of Aranah, the Jebusite. And David spake unto the Lord when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me and against my father's house.
That's honorable. That's honorable for the king to say that, for David to say that. They didn't do nothing, Lord. I know you said your word is your word, and I'm glad you repented when you came in, when you sent your angel to Jerusalem. But these people didn't do nothing. It was me. Let your hand, or let your judgment be upon me and my house. Go ahead.
And Gad came that day to David and said unto him, Go up, rear an altar unto the Lord in the threshing floor of Aranah, the Jebusite. And David, according to the saying of Gad, went up as the Lord commanded. And Aranah looked and saw the king and his servants coming on toward him. And Aranah went out and bowed himself before the king on his face unto the ground. And Aranah said, Wherefore is my lord the king come to his servant? And David said, To buy the threshing floor of thee, to build an altar unto the Lord, that the plague may be stayed from the people. And Aranah said unto David, Let my lord the king take and offer what seemeth good unto him. Behold, here be oxen for burnt sacrifice, and threshing instruments, and other instruments of the oxen for wood. All these things did Aranah as a king gave unto the king. And Aranah said unto the king, The Lord thy God accept thee. And the king said unto Aranah, Nay, but I will surely buy it of thee at a price. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar unto the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord was entreated for the land, and the plague was stayed from Israel.
Man, hey, it's work to be able to please the Lord, man. Disobey him, and you have to accept his judgments. Obey his commandments, and you receive his reward for your righteousness. In 2 Samuel, man, from what we've been reading from the time that we've been in this book, it's extremely important to understand that we do make mistakes. King David was a man after the Lord's own heart, but he still messed up sometimes. But you got to be able to accept your punishment. This is a heavy story on being able to accept the judgment for your actions. I teach my boys that all the time, man, that every action does have a consequence. If you are doing what is right and what is righteous in the sight of the Lord, then there's a reward. But when you disobey and you do your own thing, there's a consequence and a judgment. But you're going to have to learn and grow to be man enough to accept it either way. That's an important lesson, man. I thank the Most High in Christ for that. All right. We're going to Amajim, which means to stand. We're going to conclude the Saturday Sabbath class. ISUPK, Louisiana.
It's okay.
Upon Hakwadam, which means to turn and face the east. Read the prayers in Hebrew and then in English. First, the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Baba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathinanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawat Yenawa, Wala'ah, Kabiayanaw, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman.
In English, our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
holy be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done
Thy will be done
in earth as it is in heaven.
in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread,
And forgive us our debts
and forgive us our
as
debts
we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom and the power
For thine is the kingdom and the power
and the glory forever.
and the glory forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Baba Kushab. Nathan Hakak. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kal Maka'ala. Kal Manawa. Hakak. Latahar. Ha Matazariah. Hakak. Lahakoyam. Hamatyam. Hakak. Al Rakawa. Ha Mata'ala. Salakia. Ha Tama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Kawada Aman.
In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua,
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness
The power to heal all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease.
and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you. So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai. Wa Maka Ya'ala. Wa Ala Yahayim. Matazabah. Salaki. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kwatazayanyam. Ha Kaya Yalav. Waha Akwakyam. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Kawada Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahushua,
And Yahushai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angels,
And the angels.
commanding General Yohanan,
Commanding General
the
Yohanan.
generals,
The generals.
the captains,
The captains.
the officers,
The officers.
the troopers,
The troopers.
and the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua,
Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
thank you, so be it.
Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharyam. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Azariah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Asha. Shemayim. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Ya, Yamyanka, Yawawam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wa Yarak, Balal Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aid, Wa'aid Awalam.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83. Alahayim. Al Damayalak. Al Takarash. Wa'al Taqwa. Salaki. Wa'al Tashaqwa. Al Kayahana. Awa Wayabyaka. Yahama Yawam. Ra'ash. Al Amaka. Ya'ira Yamwa. Sawada. Wayat what Salaki. Wa Yata Ya'itazawa. Al Tazapawanka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magawya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'ala. Iwada. Kaya. Nawa'ai Tazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Al Yaka. Baryat. Yakarrathwa. Ahalia. Adawam. Wa Yashamai. Salaki. Allah Yam. Mawa'aba. Wahagariam. Gabal. Wa'aimuwam. Wa'aimalak. Palashat. Aim Yashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. I'm Am. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya. Lawat. Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamadian. Kasaya. Sarah. Kayabian. Banakal. Koyashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan Dara. Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama,
Adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nadayab,
Nadayab,
Mawa,
Mawa,
Ka'arab,
Ka'arab,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakazal,
Mana'ai,
Manai,
Kal Nasayakam, Kamwa,
Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Narasha,
Narasha,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Na'awath,
Nawa,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayat Yamwa, Shalaki, Shayathamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagalgala,
Kagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya, Raka,
Lapanya, Raka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira, Ya'ira, Yaka, Salaki, Wakala Abba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Talaha,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadatma,
Taradam,
Basa Iraka,
Basaraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wahaka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Ma'ala, Salaki, Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahala,
Waya,
Salaki, Waya Bahaliwa,
Wayabahala,
Idya
Ayai,
Waya Kaparwa, Waya Kaparwa,
Yakakari,
Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya Ata, Shemka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Ha'arataza.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said, come.
They have said, come.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be in no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they are consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gebal.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah.
Selah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb.
Yea, all their princes of Zabah.
Yea, all their princes of Zabah.
And Zalmunna.
And Zalmunna.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
The houses of God in possession.
The houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid
afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord.
Let them be confounded and troubled.
Let them be confounded and troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou.
That men may know that thou.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Art the most high over all the earth.
Art the most high over all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Matah, Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Shema Latah Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Matah. Class dismissed.